So we're going to listen in to the very latest from Sky News in Australia right now.
This man sneaks up on one of the gunmen and wrestles the firearm away.
It's the most unbelievable scene I've ever seen. A man walking up to a gunman who had fired on the community and single-handedly disarming him. That man is a genuine hero.
Disarmed, the man retreats back to the walkway where the second gunman continues to fire. A shootout with police unfolds and the two men fall to the ground. These images show the men restrained, with one receiving CPR. The threat contained after just a few minutes, but bodies of victims are left covering the ground, where moments earlier an event to mark the first night of Hanukkah was taking place.
It was full of grandparents and grandchildren.
There were bullets all around me. All I can do is screaming, "Where is my family? Where's my little girl? Where's my little girl?" I saw her dancing for a second and she was gone. I actually had a police officer drag me out. He was shot in the head.
And then once the shooting stopped, I went out, tried to help people. I was just covering bodies because there was people dead.
I can assure the community it will be met with a massive, comprehensive police and public order response. Our heart bleeds for Australia's Jewish community tonight.
With multiple investigations now underway, both New South Wales Police and Australia's security agency ASIO have confirmed one of the shooters was known to them.
One of these individuals was known to us, but not in an immediate threat perspective, so obviously we need to look into what happened here.
As part of the investigation and shortly after the shooting occurred, police located a vehicle in Campbell Parade at Bondi, which we believe has several improvised explosive devices. We have our rescue bomb disposal unit there at the moment working on that.
These communities should not live in this terror. And tonight I was at an event where I was saying to members of the Jewish community, I said, isn't it great that we are ending the year on a high after such a devastating start to the year? And here we are.
An attack on Jewish Australians is an attack on every Australian. And every Australian tonight will be, like me, devastated on this attack on our way of life.
For now, Australia's terror threat level remains unchanged at probable.
I don't see that changing at this stage. Probable means there is a 50% chance of an act of terror, and unfortunately we've seen that horrific act occur tonight in Australia.
It doesn't matter what you call it, it's hate and it's got to stop, and we have to stop it in its tracks in every way that we can.
Let me be clear, we will eradicate it. Amidst this vile act of violence and hate will emerge a moment of national unity, where Australians across the board will embrace their fellow Australians of Jewish faith at this dark moment for our nation.
An enormous police and ambulance response, so rarely seen at this scale in Australia, continues into the night. Cameron Redden's Sky News.
That is just an extraordinary day. It is a bloody mark on our nation's history, and it is a day that will mean that Bondi is forever changed. I want to bring Alex Thomas, my colleague at Sky, back for more now. I mean, Alex, I just had a message from a friend, actually, who's not Jewish, but he said this isn't just an attack on Jewish Australians, this is an attack on Australia. So everyone's feeling it.
Yeah, and Australia's got a certain reputation across the globe, and I feel like as someone who's been living and working here for the last couple of years, been married to an Aussie and known her for the best part of 20 years, and had regular visits here, it has dented that image to a large extent. I just had a message on my WhatsApp group from a relative friend of a friend, a Mexican national, and a young lad who had to run for cover, who was on the beach. I haven't had a chance to catch up with him, find out his personal tale, and we've heard so many today, but there are so many international visitors that come to Bondi for its reputation, international students too that like to live in the area because of its reputation. So not only will this make global news headlines, but the anecdotal tales will also spread through those local networks and communities. And it's easy, well, I think we've done a good job of expressing the gravity of the tragedy, and quite right too. But we need to put things in perspective, and there'll be time for that in the days ahead. Australia is still relatively a very safe place to live. I know another POM living here who's actually a former SO19 officer, so that's the armed officers for the Met Police in London. He was personal security for 2 UK Prime Ministers, Boris Johnson and Theresa May. And since coming to live here with his young boys, says you can't compare London and Sydney, for example. Sydney is so much safer. So for those who are concerned, shocked, saddened, yes, feel those emotions, but don't start thinking that Australia is now a scary place to live with imminent danger. I know there'll be people in the Jewish community who will feel differently and have every right to, and that was acknowledged by Prime Minister Anthony Albanese. And that is the large question, the unanswered one that we can't answer yet, about what is done. Is it legislation? Is it extra security? All those answers and implications that will be very far-reaching and wide-ranging in the days ahead.
I think you're right. I mean, yeah, it is a relatively safe place when you're comparing it to other nations around the world. But I guess it's the build-up to all of this. I mean, there has been a huge amount of anti-Semitism in this country, and it's been noted around the world, particularly in Israel too. You've got the pro-Palestinian marches that are continuing to happen in Melbourne and other parts as well. You know, you had the march across the bridge here in Sydney. So you've been building up to this moment where Jewish Australians here are feeling and have felt very safe. Although, as Kelly Sloan put it a little earlier when she was talking to Shari, there was this period where the end of the year was finishing well and it was nice and peaceful as people were about to break for holidays, and then all of a sudden you've got, you know, the worst terror attack, the biggest massacre that's taken place in Australia since Port Arthur. And so, I mean, perhaps was there an inevitability to all of this? Was something like this coming?
Yeah, and those are the sort of questions that need to be answered. And as the police have already hinted at, please, their appeal to the community was, please don't rush to those judgments. Let's not see any retaliatory attacks. Let's let the police complete their investigation. It sounds like, you know, the local hero that we've been showing the footage of, who grabbed one of the shooters and disarmed them, just judging from their name alone, might have more of a Middle Eastern connection than a Jewish connection. And that would be a nice thing to know, that we're talking about extremists, we're talking about individuals who have got their own warped motivations for these attacks, and we're yet to find that out fully. Whereas actually, Australia's been always about, no matter what walk of life you come from, when you come here, you adopt a bit of Aussie. You become a bit Australian. And we hope that continues, that survives. And that's what we need to cling on to.
Okay. Yeah, it's true. All right, Alex, appreciate that. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll talk to you again soon. I mean,
all right, you've been listening to live coverage there in Sydney, Australia from Sky News. It's 1:42 in the morning in Sydney. They're processing it. That individual talking to the reporter, talking about this Good Samaritan that Trey Yingst has identified as Ahmed El Ahmed, appears to be a man in his 40s that is a fruit stand operator, observes this and does what a hero does in the blink of an eye and tries to stop it. That's him there coming from the blind side behind a parked car to try and at least stop the shooter as he was in the midst of it. It's interesting, just in the last few minutes ago, FBI Director Kash Patel taking to X, saying that he says, I have been in touch with our counterparts in Australia regarding the horrific attack on a Hanukkah festival in Sydney. We are providing the requested assistance, and we'll update with more information as we are able. Please keep the victims and their families in your prayers. Clearly, that's our FBI coordinating with the Sydney folks. We heard Trey talking about Israelis doing the same. This is a global thing, and at the heart of it is this rise of anti-Semitism.
Well, it's interesting because we had Paul Morrow on earlier, and he says, of course, we at this point don't know if any of these incidents that we see across the world, from Australia to Syria to what's happening in Brown, we have no idea if this is in any way connected. And he said, more than likely they're not. However, it's good to know that all these, organizations and countries are coordinating just in case.
Yeah, truly riveting footage, and obviously, God bless that hero. He is a hero. The fruit stand operator is truly a hero, and no telling what what carnage he was able to stop and prevent from being even worse. Obviously, all morning we've been following all of this major breaking news. From the terrifying act of terrorism in Australia to the deadly shooting at Brown University.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.